sport of freestyle pre-running. Is it even a sport? Most are unaware. But I'm here to break down and analyze the mindset, vehicle setup, and overall approach required in order to stay grounded in a sport that can be radically unforgiving. In this series, we'll pull back the curtain with a first-person perspective on what it takes to be a freestyle pre-running athlete. I'm All-American Sender, and this is Flight School.
Warning, the activities you're about to see are performed by a trained athlete. Participation in these activities is not advised by Flight School. Engaging in these activities will be done at your own risk. Flight School commencing in 3, 2, 1.
In search of new mayor. Y'all must have forgot. Now that you guys got your rocks off with a little jump tour of Ocotillo Wells, let's get back to flight school. This right here is a SMART level. It's gonna give us a real good idea of what the degree angle of this jump is. And there's two variables when it comes to jump distance that I wanna talk about. And one is the angle of the jump and the other one is speed. Everything else is pretty much fixed. You got gravity pulling you to the earth, and the angle is fixed once you find it, and the speed is variable based on how fast you want to hit it. So that equation is a fairly simple equation. It's called the range equation in physics, and you can look it up online or whatever, but I put together a spreadsheet with angle and speed, and now I have in my phone basically a matrix that tells me whatever angle it is and how fast I want to go, what the length of the jump's going to be. This also excludes any kind of coefficient of drag for wind resistance and stuff like that. You can see it's a little windy out here, but we're going to negate that. And what we're going to do on this is we're going to check the math with the equation, and then we're going to hit this jump at multiple speeds. We're going to hit it at 40 and 50 and maybe 60, and then we're going to work our way up, and then we're going to check the tape to see how far we fly and check the equations to see how much different the equations are than the actual jumps that we do. This will give you a good idea mathematically what happens when you leave the ground and then when you come back down. And the reason why we picked this jump in particular is the jump lip is forgiving. You can jump it at any speed, and the landing goes a long, long way. We got a tape that goes all the way to 200 feet. Don't know if we're actually going to hit 200 feet on this one. It looks like it kind of goes uphill a little bit right before 200 feet. So I'm not sure how the truck's going to act at high speeds off of this. And the math shows us that we got to go like 85. But once we start hitting this, we'll get a better idea of whether or not the equations are correct with respect to speed and distance on this jump. So stay tuned, and we are going to start hitting this thing from slower speeds to higher speeds, and we're going to check in at the length and the equations as we do this so you guys can see what's going on here. After checking this lip with the SMART level, the lip is about 12 degrees. And so when I look at my matrix on that, we hit it at 40 miles an hour, we should go 43 feet. We're gonna check it right now with the truck, hit it at 40 and see how far we go. "40 miles an hour, we hit this one. We went 46 feet. The math says 43. So we are right in the ballpark of where the equations are talking. So I think we're on target for the angle and the speed. We're gonna go ahead and hit it at 50 now and see if the math is still on at 50 miles per hour off this lip. All right, so after our second attempt at 50 miles an hour, we came up with 68 feet on the truck jump, and the math says 68 feet. So far, this little matrix that I put together with the mathematics is spot on for jump length with this particular jump. We're gonna go ahead and ramp it up to 60 miles an hour. One of the things I'm going to do at 60 miles an hour is I'm gonna go ahead and throw my helmet on for this one, just because we're probably gonna get somewhere near 100 feet and we're going 60 miles an hour. We're gonna start getting into the high speed areas, and I feel like I should probably wear a helmet just for safety once we get to these kind of speeds. All right, so on that jump, I really didn't go 70, I don't think. We'll have to check the telemetrics, or the telemetrics in the show will let you know how fast I was going. I basically wooded it from start to finish. I'm gonna have to find a little bit more run up to continue on this. But I think this kind of gets the science out of the way here. We went 129 feet. We were supposed to go 134. I don't think I went 70. If I went 70, I probably would have hit 134. So it sounds like the matrix and the math and everything we talked about earlier is working precisely. There's a lot of other variables we could talk about, but I just wanted to keep it simple, and it's actually kind of cool that it worked out. So I'm going to use it in the future. It seems to be like a good tool on some jumps out here to really get an idea of where you're going to go. So, but from here on out, we're going straight cinematic. We're going to hit this thing as fast as we can go. All right, I know what you guys are thinking. We're here at Devil Slide. Boring, right? The most popular jump in Ocotillo Wells where everybody hits. And I've hit it countless times. I obviously had some issues on this jump as well, breaking my A-arm at the Clean Desert event about a year ago. I think it was about a year and a half ago. We're gonna hit this today though, and do something that I've only done one time on it, which is get to the landing. The landing's 3-4 feet high. It's about 170 feet away, and it's basically where the hill, there's a bit of sand that runs down the side of the hill over here, and it acts as a miniature little landing. And if you case into the front of it, the truck gets super upset, and that's what happened when I bent my A-arm, or broke my A-arm, my upper A-arm. There were some other things going on with the A-arm as well, but I did hit the jump at the worst case scenario speed at the time. And so it just folded, landed passenger side heavy, which is what this jump does to you because the lip is actually pushed that direction. So for the most part, when you jump Devil Slide, you're gonna land passenger heavy on the front. And we're gonna go hit this today and try to get to the landing first try. We used the mathematical calculations from yesterday and measured to the sweet spot, and then did the math on the lip. It's 18 degrees, and looked up in the matrix, and it looks like maybe 65 miles an hour minimum to get to the sweet spot. So that's what we're going to try first off. I might roll it a couple times just to get comfortable, or maybe just drive around a little bit, get comfortable, because it's bright and early here in the morning, and want to make sure I'm loose when I hit the jump. I don't want to be tight, or I need to warm up a little bit. So stay tuned and take a look at this Devil Slide jump. I know you guys are excited because everybody hits this. Dweezy Films just informed me that flight school was getting boring. I think this jump right here shows that it's not. Obviously, it looks like it's easy on camera. First try, greased it. I don't know if that's luck or skill or planning ahead or what that is, and maybe a combination of all three of those things. But as you can see, this is the landing I was talking about. It's so minute, such a small landing, but it actually allows the truck to land softly here. And you can see we got Nick and Cheery Media all the way down there at the lip, and they're having a conversation about how sick that was just now. And this is roughly 175 feet to this landing here. I wouldn't suggest trying this without safety gear, helmet, and suspension on your truck that can handle this jump. I've seen people hit Devil Slide with lesser trucks, and I've seen wheels just completely come off. I've seen rollovers and stuff like that, and you really don't want to go this big unless you're really prepared. So don't just come out here and hit this thing in your leaf sprung Silverado and expect to get to the landing on Devil Slide. It's that isn't going to really work. You can work up to it. You can build your truck up. You can get all the big parts and suspension components and shocks and all that, and then you can try it. But this one was had my gut definitely in knots. Only got to the landing one other time, and this time I hit it 4 times and got to the landing. It's pretty sweet. It's been 2 years since I actually got to landing on this. I'm constantly casing it over there because I'm always wussing out in front of crowds and stuff like that. But it's nice to get out here by myself and just and hit this jump. So we're gonna move on to the next one. This morning was was fruitful, and we got a couple more coming up for you guys to see. I think they're notable jumps, so stay tuned. Shell Reef, boys. Right, here we are at the infamous Shell Reef double. This little valley right here extends behind me and it extends in front of me. Most people hit the jump, which is more of a table behind the cameras here and over in that direction. But this particular direction, it turns into an actual true double. It's a pretty deep double. This is the trough here. Either side is 5-6 feet up in the air. And so there is, consequences here. It is a fairly short jump, but it's pretty poppy. So we should be getting some height on this one. But historically, I have not hit this jump since before I got all my shock tuning. And there's a video on my Instagram from a long, long time ago of my truck with 0 shock tuning, and literally comes off of this thing and almost nosedives pretty substantially and almost goes over. So that is a situation where I wanted to come back with full shock tuning, and the truck's pretty darn dialed after 3 years of driving it, working on shock tuning with STG and getting it to the point where it's at. So I wanted to come back here and address this double here. It's a pretty fat one. It's pretty cool. I'm going to try a different run up at this than previously. I'm kind of searching around here to try to find the best run up. Looks like I'm going to have to hit it anywhere between 40 and 50 to get across this and to the other side. And then also on this particular jump, we have a situation where there is a very narrow landing path. If you hit it 15 feet to the right or 15 feet to the left, it could be a problem. So you got to really stick your landing on this other side. So trajectory off this jump is very important. I think it was SoCal Eric that took his old Tundra before Vivian was created, and he was a little bit right on this one. I was here when it happened. I showed him the jump really, and we talked about it, but for whatever reason, when he came off the jump, his trajectory was about 15 feet right, and there's an uphill there, and the truck slammed into the uphill and broke his upper arm. That was a clean desert event as well. So clean desert events are gnarly, I guess. A couple of upper A-arms, clean desert out here in Ocotillo Wells. But let's line this one up, get the tape out, measure it off, check some of the math, and see what we need to do, and see how this one goes today. All right, so we couldn't come out to my favorite stomping grounds, Ocotillo Wells, without hitting a jump that I haven't hit before. I've seen it, I've lined it up, and I haven't hit it. So today's the day. We're going to go ahead and give this one a shot. It's a little nerve-wracking because it's a step down, which I usually don't hit step downs all that often. Anytime there's a step down, things can go a little haywire because the truck, as it arcs through the air, the truck will tend to nose down, and on a step down, it noses down a little more than usual. So we'll see how this one goes as far as how much the truck noses. I'm gonna hit it slowly and take my time on this one. But it is cool to come out here and jump hunt, and that's what I wanted to showcase on the episode, as well as coming out here and finding something you've never hit before. This is a bit of a double step down, and it's gonna be nerve-wracking, but hopefully we'll do everything right and get across and get some bangers here on this one.